Peace in the earth. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti Om. 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 Oh, Shanti Om. Peace inside my heart, God and only God is moving me. Peace inside my heart, God and only God I live to see. Peace inside my heart, God and only God is moving me. Peace inside my heart, God and only God I live to see. Oh, oh, Shanti, oh. Peace inside my mind, God and only God is moving me. Peace inside my mind, God and only God I live to see. Peace inside my mind, God and only God is moving me. Peace inside my mind, God and only God I live to see. Oh, oh, Shanti Om. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, 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 Shanti Om.
Thank you, Margaret Leduc. That's beautiful. And let's let it guide us right into our meditation. Just let yourself hear the chords of that last song. And whether you want to sing to yourself that Om, or if you want to just feel that Om, just vibrating through every cell of your being. It's said that Om is the primordial sound, the sound that was before all things, before all matter, before what we know as the first Big Bang, before the Hindu oscillating universes began, when there was nothing but Brahman, or the life force Atman. When there was no duality. So let's breathe into that still space. And perhaps as you breathe, just rest a moment at the top of the breath, and then gently exhale, letting all tension go, and just pause for just a quick moment before you take an in-breath. So in-breath, and pause briefly, and then exhale, relaxed, relaxed. Pause briefly, and repeat that process called box breathing. As we become aware of our bodies, just shifting so we are just seated in the perfect posture. Let's connect now to the air in the room with each breath, just giving thanks for the sacred breath. How we're in symbiosis with this sacred air, and how all the plants are also in symbiosis with this air and in symbiosis with us as we think about the earth element. The earth drinking in whatever rain it's getting now. Feeling ourselves grounded in that earth. The same earth where every person ever known has called this earth home. Giving great gratitude for all it sustains. And now thinking about water. How it makes up most of our bodies. Every drop of water, every atom in the water has touched everything, has made its way around the world. The circulating and cleansing and the spiritual properties of water as it cleanses and clears. Whether it's in the form of snow or rain or the ocean, or whether it's the water in our bodies. Giving gratitude and blessings for the water. And now thinking about the flame of a candle, bringing us warmth. This combustion process, which happens in different ways inside of our bodies to process oxygen. This process happens within the sun as fusion to warm planets 100 million miles away and further through time immemorial. So giving thanks to the fire element, the light element. And now let's focus just again on the gentle flame of a candle and let it symbolize the spiritual light of our shared divinity. So opening up our hands, opening up our hearts and our minds right now. Just asking that light to heal whatever needs resolution. Asking that light to heal our physical body, to heal our emotional affairs, to heal any discord in any relationships. To heal any negative thinking. And knowing and affirming that this healing is a continuous process and that there's an abundance of this healing that is available to us at all times. And we have the power to grasp that. We have the power to attain that through divine order, through divine intelligence, through asking. Ask and it is given. So we're asking that light right now to not only heal and bless us all with the remembrance of our divinity, but to bless the world and to send that light So we symbolically bring that light now around the world. Three months since the Israeli-Gaza conflict began, we send this light out. We're holding this vigil without fail. We're holding this vigil with full faith for anywhere there's suffering right now. And we're going to continue to hold that light. And just breathing fully and just bringing our consciousness into this room. Let's bring the light of gratitude for this community, gratitude for this spiritual practice called Unity San Jose. And I'm going to spotlight you, Margie. It's been a few weeks since I've done this, and I feel like I've forgotten how.
Today, Reverend David has chosen 2 quotes for me to read. The first is from Mr. Rogers. When I say it's you I like, I'm talking about that part of you that knows that life is far more than anything you can ever see or hear or touch. That deep part of you that allows you to stand for those things without which humankind cannot survive. Love that conquers, hate, peace that rises triumphant over war, and justice that proves more powerful than greed. The second quote is from Edward B. Lindemann. One of life's most fulfilling moments occurs in the split second when the familiar is suddenly transformed into the dazzling aura of the profoundly new. Please join me in our opening affirmation. There is only one power and one presence active in the universe and in my life, God in everything and everyone. The one infinite source of love, abundance, harmony, wholeness, intelligence, and joy is expressing as me.
Thank you, Margie. What I want to talk about today is New Year's. It's still New Year's. It's the 7th. And so this is a wonderful time to mark what some people call beginning again. There was a movie called Begin Again. Ever see that? And it's also a process that one of our co-founders, Myrtle Fillmore, calls newing. And I just love the word newing. And so there's a number of opportunities that we can take to visit this topic. And I want to begin with this motif called awakening from the dream. And that may sound familiar to you because Michael Beckwith has used this, and I have found it so apt to describe what is going on with the human race and what needs to happen. We need to awaken from the dream. And I think that Don Miguel Ruiz also talked about this. And it implies that we're asleep in some way. What does that mean? I think it means that we have habits of thought and ways of being so ingrained in us that we are unaware. We're not acting or feeling or remembering that we are wholly divine and wholly blessed to be alive, as if we're sleepwalking, as if we're on autopilot, especially when times get tough. So there's a point when I think all of us become keenly aware for the first time that we're sleepwalking in some area of our life, in some aspect of our life. And that there are elements that we keep on forgetting. We forget to hope. We forget to trust 100%. We forget those deep gratitudes that bring us right back to just, they're just like a slap in the face. They're just waking us up into maybe that our problems aren't as big as someone else's, or how much we have. We have so much more to be grateful than to be sorry for. That's a DiLullo lyric. He'll be joining us in a couple of weeks. We're forgetting to remember that we're connected directly to the source that is our substance and our supply. And then maybe one day we hear an inspiring talk or have a fantastic day and we get right back on track. But then a few weeks later, we realize we've fallen back into the thought patterns of lack and limitation all over again. But we have the power to continuously change this, to continuously awaken. And how do we do that? And I think it begins with awareness that it's happening. And then once we're aware that it's happening, and we have to have a desire to change it. And some would say that we need to die to our old ways. There's a song by Valerie Joy Fidmont that says that, and it's talking about we need to have a resurrection in this lifetime. So Jesus taught that we can be resurrected in this lifetime, and Paul said we must die daily. We must die daily. So this process of rebirth is so powerful. So the next step is letting go of things that belong to this dream state. And this is some of the work that we did at New Year's. And today I'm going to visit letting go just a little bit differently. And this is the third year in a row where I've turned to invoke the writings of Brené Brown from her book called Gifts of Imperfection, which many of you know. And this is actually from the table of contents of that book. And I found it so powerful, just reflecting on the table of contents. And I'm going to read it to you. This section says, here are the things that we want to focus on. Letting go of what people think. And then cultivating authenticity. The next one is letting go of comparison so we can cultivate creativity, making our own mark, right? I mean, just think if Walt Disney, if Steve Jobs, I mean, Da Vinci said, well, you know, I've got to kind of go with the status quo, and this is the level of success, and this is what I need to be doing, they wouldn't have done what they did. They cultivated creative thinking because they let go of comparison. They didn't care what other people thought. The next one from Brené Brown is letting go of perfection and cultivating self-compassion. And I'll talk about this a little bit more. The next one is letting go of numbing and powerlessness. Now, I like to say letting go of avoidance and powerlessness, but I'll just leave it here, letting go of numbing and powerlessness, and instead cultivating a resilient spirit. The next one is letting go of scarcity and fear of the dark. Fear of the metaphysical dark, fear of the darkness of our lives, fear of the darkness of the unknown, and instead cultivating gratitude and joy. The next one is letting go of the need for certainty, because uncertainty is a thing to be afraid of, potentially, right? So letting go of the need for certainty and instead cultivating trust and faith. Okay, there's a few more left. This one I love. Letting go of exhaustion as a status symbol and productivity as self-worth. Now, I know there's more and more consciousness around this first one, letting go of exhaustion as a status symbol, because people are, starting to work smarter and not harder and see the value of play and rest. But productivity as self-worth, I did this, I did that, I achieved this, I achieved that. Letting go of I'll repeat it again. Letting go of exhaustion as a status symbol and letting go of productivity as self-worth. Next one, letting go of anxiety as a lifestyle. Whether you agree or disagree with that one, that makes you think. Anxiety as a lifestyle. And instead cultivating calm and stillness, or something called equanimity. Two more to go. Letting go of self-doubt and supposed to. Letting go of self-doubt and supposed to, or shoulda, woulda, coulda, right? And instead cultivating, I'm going to rephrase this one, cultivating meaning on our own terms. Cultivating meaning on our own terms. And then there's letting go of being cool and always in control. Letting go of being cool and always in control. And instead cultivating laughter, song, dance, art, music, creativity, but letting ourselves go in these art forms. Yeah, Margot's like, yes. All of us, you know, people who have 4 in our Enneagram are really gonna like that one. So what I want to do is turn this into a quick spiritual practice here. Let's just take advantage of these real quickly. And I'm going to take the letting go pieces, and I want you to repeat after me. I let go of what people think. I let go of what people think. I let go of comparison. I let go of comparison. I let go of perfectionism. I let go of numbing and powerlessness. Let's add one more to that one. I let go of avoidance and resistance. Next, I let go of scarcity and fear of the dark. And maybe fear of scarcity. I let go of the need for certainty. I let go of exhaustion as a status symbol. I let go of exhaustion as a status symbol. And I let go of productivity as self-worth. I let go of productivity as self-worth. Next, I let go of anxiety as a lifestyle. I let go of anxiety as a lifestyle. I let go of self-doubt and supposed to. I let go of self-doubt and supposed to. How about I let go of coulda, shoulda, woulda. I let go of coulda, shoulda, woulda. And if there's something else that you would like to let go of, just think about something. Maybe this is work you did around New Year's. If you had a burning bowl in front of you right now, what's one word you would write on that burning bowl? Well, don't write it on the burning bowl. Write it on the little flash paper that goes into the burning bowl. What do you want to let go of? What do you want to hand out to the angels to say, synthesize this, I no longer need it. It's stressing me out. What's that thing that you want to let go of? And let's symbolically just throw it either into the bowl or into any one of the elements and let the elements carry it away. So thank you. And once we get go of negative thinking and negative habits, we create room for this thing that I like to call conscious evolution. Barbara Marx Hubbard coined that phrase, making room for conscious evolution. And this is the waking up from the spiritual amnesia that Michael Beckwith was talking about. And I would like to share 2 very quick videos that capture, to me, the essence and the magic, not only of letting go, but the essence and magic that what it might be to wake up to our own spiritual magnificence. Here we go.
Don't break it. color for the colorblind. I am colorblind.
Now these are special glasses. Your kids have been engineered that when people wear them that are colorblind, you get to see color just like we all see color.
And it came with balloons and all that.
Oh my.
I can put these on.
Yeah, it'll
You'll see
Is
color
it like it was supposed to be?
like how we all see it.
it'll
Yeah.
correct your eyes so that you'll see how it's supposed to see.
It's so clear, I can't believe it.
Dad, do you hate it?
See the balloon color?
Papa, look at the hat.
Oh my God.
It's not pink, is it? God, where did you get this idea from?
Oh my, look at that red. Oh, shoot.
Okay, I'm gonna try this second one.
Ready? Here we go. I'm gonna turn it up a little bit more. All right. How does it sound now?
Good.
Is it sounding better? Can you hear my voice now? Yeah? What about Mom's voice?
Can you hear my voice?
Yes.
Hey, Dawson.
Now let's skip this.
Dawson.
You hear the bird? That bird? That little tiny bird chirping?
Yeah.
Could you really hear it?
Yeah.
Could you ever hear that before?
No.
No? What else? Hear this? Yeah?
Yeah.
Could you hear that before? You hear those cars on the street? Yeah? You like that? Yeah.
That is so sweet, isn't it? Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing. And that is, that to me is just an expression of what it could be like to wake up. I mean, if our God selves, if divinity can't be expressed in words, you know, it must be 10 times, 100 times, infinitely more beautiful than that experience. And some people call these things noetic experiences. It's this experience of being born for the first time. It's this, it's this whole experience that can't even be really described. It just has to be felt. So this is kind of an analogy for, I think, what we should be going for is seeing the world through new eyes, seeing the world through our spiritual eyes, or hearing the world through our spiritual ears, as if we've never heard it before. And in that quote that Margie shared, she said, taking something that was familiar and hearing it, I forgot what the quote was. I'm going to go to it. And I don't have it in front of me. Seeing it as if oh, I know it's here. Seeing what's familiar and having that suddenly transformed into the dazzling aura of the profoundly new, into the dazzling aura of the profoundly new. And that's why I'm so excited about this. And I think that's why a lot of us were led to be on this spiritual path, because we knew that was what was really real, and that's what was really worth doing the work of attaining. So this is waking up. And how do we wake up? I'm going to share my screen. How do we keep waking up? So we talked about awareness is the key. And whenever you're having this is kind of that goes back to the roots of emotional intelligence. Awareness is the key to a lot of things, being self-aware, aware of what's going on around you. And then there's the desire to grow, the desire to wake up, the desire to be on a spiritual path. You all are here because you desire something that is worthwhile, your own spiritual transformation. And then there's letting go, which we explored a little bit today, and we explored that at New Year's. And then there's changing our minds and our mindset, which I'll talk about in a minute. And then there's shifting our habits and applying spiritual practices. So these are what I posit as the 5 ways of waking up. What I suggest as the 5 ways of waking up. And let me talk about those last 2 steps, the mindset one and the habits one. The mindset one first. There are many mindsets that we could put ourselves in. It's a very open question. It's almost like talking about what are your values. But let me ask you this question. What mindset will best support you in your endeavors this year as a spiritual being? What mindset will best support you this year? And maybe a few things come to your mind, and what I'm going to do is say that there's no right or wrong, because you design your own spiritual practices and you get suggestions from us in terms of what works. But Charles Fillmore and Myrtle Fillmore and Ernest Holmes, they were mystics. They didn't always take ideas from other people, but they took suggestions and then found their own way. So I'm going to suggest a few right now. The first mindset is willingness. The willingness to accept the healing. The willingness to stay with it little by little, knowing that if I don't change day and night tomorrow, just because I set together a resolution, which, I'm anti-resolution, I'm more for incremental change. But if I don't change right away, I'm not going to give up tomorrow. I'm persistent. I'm persistent in my faith. I'm persistent in my trust. I'm persistent in my desire to be the best possible person I can be on this planet. I'm persistent in my vision. And if I don't know my vision, I'm persistent in finding out what that is. And then there's this mindset of willingness, which is willingness to feel the feelings. I almost talked to Margot about singing a song today called We Let the Love Wash Over Us, because there's an exercise where before you let the love wash over you, if you're feeling something that disturbs you, if you're feeling angry, if you're feeling sad, let that wash over you first. Don't do a spiritual bypass and just go straight to affirmations. Just feel the feelings. So our willingness to feel the feelings, and they will allow us to transition past them and beyond them fairly quickly so we can get to the effervescent things, so we can get to the healing. And also that means that willingness mindset means looking at areas where we have resistance and avoidance. Where are you most likely to grab the iPhone where you don't need it? This is work that I'm working on. Where are you most likely, and when are you most likely to grab that iPhone when you don't need it? Or are there hours of a day where you're grabbing the iPhone realizing, why am I grabbing that iPhone? What am I looking for? They say that social media and scrolling is the new cigarette because it gives us a dopamine hit. It lets us avoid. And, I broke up the word avoidance, avoid dance. It's dancing in the void. We want to dance in the light. We don't want to dance in the void. So let's get rid of this avoidance through being careful about what we consume. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit more in February. The next mindset is one that really excites me. This word, just the phrase excites me. It's called the mindset of radical self-acceptance. Radical self-acceptance. And when I hear that, it means self-acceptance without having to justify why, without having to earn or think that you need to earn fully loving yourself. Tara Brach wrote this about radical self-acceptance. She said, we use the word self-acceptance not radical, but just self-acceptance, because it is a starting point for our inner experience. But what it really trains us to do in a very unconditional way, in a very inclusive way, is embrace all of life. That's when it becomes radical. So she's taken this idea of radical self-acceptance, meaning it's not just me that I accept, it's all of my experience. It's a radical acceptance, and she calls it being in love with life itself. Being in love with life itself, and that's radical self-acceptance. So I'm going to go more into this topic on the first Sunday in February. Next mindset is being committed to your own conscious evolution or your own spiritual unfoldment, whatever that North Star is for you, whatever that thing is that you want to attain, which doesn't have any of those things that you let go. All those things you let go are gone. When those things are removed, what is the essence of what remains? It's stripping away, like Michelangelo said, he just needed to chip away the pieces that weren't David, right? And once he chipped away, and once you chipped away those things that aren't Margie, that aren't Margot, that aren't Angela, that aren't Anne, those pieces reveal the true magnificence of who you are. So you're not encumbered in shining your light. So this mindset of being committed to your conscious evolution, I believe, also means to show up. And what does that mean? It just means to show up to do the work, maybe. It means show up to get up to the table to do the work. It means instead of doing something that's just a waste of time, maybe doing a practice, a spiritual practice, and we'll talk about that towards the end. But showing up for yourself, mainly. Showing up for others. You show up to this service, you show up for yourself. Because in this service, you get spiritual music, you get meditation, you get like-minded community, you get praying for others, you get the power of being in a room with unconditional acceptance, which you probably don't get at work, I would imagine. You get 20 minutes of spiritual insights from spiritual speakers around the country. I will get off my sales pitch, but it's showing up for yourself. And that's why I love it. That's why I haven't missed a Sunday, not because I can't. I haven't missed a Sunday in 5 years because this is my spiritual practice as well as my job, and I love it. So that's showing up for yourself. So we talked about letting go. We talked about changing your mindset. We talked about awareness as the first step to all this. But the final thing that I'll touch upon real quickly, since it's getting late, is the final step to awakening, I'm suggesting, is shifting our habits and applying spiritual practices. And there are so many spiritual practices we each do. Some of you are quite advanced in your gratitude journals, in your own meditation practice. Some of you, we have a broad representation of what spiritual practices might be. And the first ones that would probably come to mind would be prayer, affirmations, affirmational prayer, music, singing, conscious giving is a spiritual practice, forgiveness as a spiritual practice, gratitude as a spiritual practice, walking as a spiritual practice, doing nothing as a spiritual practice. In other words, completely being still. But I'll add on a couple and one is, I have to thank Janet Hanuman, who I wasn't familiar with Dr. Rangan Chatterjee. That's chat as in C-H-A-T, then E-R-J-E-E. Dr. Chatterjee, and you can go find Dr. Chatterjee on his website. And so I signed up for this Friday email, and one of the practices that Janet was talking about and sharing in our Wednesday group share out was 3 questions in the morning and 3 questions in the evening. And it reminded me of, in India, they have ragas for the morning and ragas for the evening. everything is spiritual. Those ragas are melody, those ragas are rhythm, they're scales, they're ancient, and they go with the vibration of the morning and the vibration of the evening. So to have a morning when you first wake up, spiritual practice, and then an evening when you go to bed, spiritual practice, that's an idea. And Dr. Chatterjee says, ask yourself these questions in the morning. 3 questions. Question 1, when you wake up, what is the most important thing I have to do today? Without any pressure, what is the most important thing I have to do? Or I would say want to do, because have to do, yeah, you get my drift. The next one is, what is one thing I deeply appreciate about myself? If you have to remind yourself every day, what is that thing I appreciate about myself? The third question is, what quality do I want to show to the world today? How do I want to bring the light? Could be another way to phrase that. What quality do I want to show the world today? And the PM questions are, what went well today? And I would say, what do I appreciate about this day? What am I grateful for about this day? Second question is, what do I want to do differently tomorrow? That's I edited that question. Sorry, Janet. What do I want to do differently tomorrow? Not beating myself up or judging, but what do I want to do differently tomorrow? And the last question is, what did I do for someone else today? Maybe setting up the possibility of, is there something I can do for someone else tomorrow? Can someone approach me and asking me for help? And can I show up as a spiritual being in that way? So I'm going to skip through the rest of my suggestions, and I'm going to save those for February because they go great with my theme in February. And I'm going to say this. I'll close with this before I pray out. I will say, make up your own letting go statements. Those could be part of your spiritual practice that you do once a month, once a week, once a day. It could be one thing that you want to let go. And next, think about what mindsets would be helpful to you this year. Is it a mindset of gratitude? Is it a mindset of acceptance? Is it a mindset of radical self-acceptance? And finally, make up your own spiritual practice. Make up your own and change it whenever you want. Because it can be 30 seconds long. It can be an hour long. But that spiritual practice is something that you should love. And I hope that you include Unity San Jose in that spiritual practice, because if you're ever lacking on ideas for a spiritual practice, that's what this service is about to me. I don't speak often this way of Unity services. It's many practices in one. So with that, I am complete. I'm grateful. And let's pray. I'm keenly aware that there is only one presence and one power that may be known by many names and many religions. And today I also call forth all the parts of me that are aligned with this one presence and one power to awaken from the dream. And it's in this awakened state where I find my center of power. It's in this awakened state where I find my center of joy, where I find my seat of compassion, where I find the foundation for abundance in all things, abundance in healing, abundance in friendships, abundance in resources, abundance financially, abundance in all things is found in this waking up. And so this is my mission. This is the gift that I gladly accept. I'm so grateful for this gift. I'm so grateful for this insight, this continuous unfolding within me. And so it is. And Margot, if you'll seal this prayer and message with a song.
Pray for me when my heart is sinking fast and holding on to what I thought would last. Oh, lift me up when I can't let go. I'm wrapped in love when you pray for me. Pray for me when things turn upside down and all seems lost, with no light to be found. Oh, lift me up and I will find a greater peace when you pray for me. Pray for me and I will make it through. And from this place I can't see what is true. There is a blessing in every breath and a love that's real beyond the veil of death. Pray for me, oh, pray for me. I'll pray for you, and you pray for me.
Thank you, Margot LeDuc. I love it when you sing that song, and it's been a while since we've heard it. I love the way you sing it, what you bring to it with your consciousness. All three songs today are Ricky Byers-Beck with compositions by coincidence. And so let's just continue this in this space for a moment, as I want us to hold Karen Fontana in our prayers as a community. Karen lost her mother a few days ago, and so Karen, we're holding you and your family, and we're thinking about Dolores and her beautiful soul as it transitions to continue to do its magnificent work. And then we're also thinking about Margot's friend, Damon, for continued health and resolution of everything that's going on right now. Just resolution. So we know he's tapping into divine intelligence. We know he's tapping into his own wisdom, which is not separate from the divine. And we know and we share with him that he's not alone. We also think about, after 3 months of Gaza and Israel conflict, we think about all those who are suffering, who they don't have enough to eat. They don't have medical care. They don't have adequate shelter. They don't have a future. So we just share hope and faith and resolution, knowing that thoughts and the energy of prayer can absolutely change things. It's the consciousness of the world that needs to change, but it must begin within each of us, one heart at a time, and it must begin in this room. That's where the change begins, in our minds. And so if there's anyone else that you'd like to bring into this prayer, Please do it now. See their faces. I'm so grateful. And so it is. And for the love offerings that continues to sustain unity, please say with me our love offering prayer. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that we are, all that we have, all that we give, and all that we receive. Our generous love offerings do good work in our community and beyond, and they are returned to us, multiplied abundantly. Thank you. Please say this with me. This is our closing set of affirmations. Then we'll have Margot sing a song that I think goes right along with today's theme. So say together with me, the light of God surrounds us. I am that light. The love of God enfolds us. I am that love. The power of God moves through us. I am that power. The grace of God expresses as us. I am that grace. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And before we go into the song, Margot, I also wanted to have us pray. Forgive me for not remembering this earlier. Any community members that are sick right now, we keep Don Barnett in our prayers as he recovers from COVID. We keep Lee Hemstreet in our prayers as she recovers, and we keep Greta in our prayers as she recovers. I think everybody is recovering beautifully, and be safe. Margot, over to you.
All right, everybody. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Yes, I'm only here for God. Yes, I'm only here for God.
Thank you. Love it. I love it. I needed to hear that song. I never get tired of that song. I just send a light to all of you. I'm so grateful. And Denise will pray us out.
Well, let's just take a moment and breathe in the beautiful music, the message, the prayers and readings from the service. And as we breathe in, we open our hearts to peace, to the healing light. And we allow ourselves to awaken in our consciousness, in our awareness, to who we truly are, our divinity, our own Christ nature. And we are so grateful for each and every one here who shares their heart, their love, and their time to be here. And as we leave this service, we do so with just a little more spiritual wisdom than we had when we started this service. And we end in gratitude. And so it is. Amen.
And so it is. Thank you, Denise. Namaste, everyone. Good to see your faces.